I want to thank you for taking this ride on the Last of First journey with us. In 6 months, we've achieved over 200,000 views across all our platforms. We're humbled and thankful for your support. But I do have one small favor to ask. Take 5 seconds, hit the like button or subscribe. Just like your on-time performance metric, this one matters to us the most. It helps us attract better guests and bring you deeper content to help propel you on your Last of First journey. And if your brand aligns with our mission, reach out to us. We'd love to find ways to partner and work together. Now back to Last of First. Andy!
Jason!
What's up, man?
Good to see you, man. How you doing? It's so good to see you.
See you. Hey, we got a nice day.
Yeah?
We're gonna get in the studio a little bit, but let's walk and talk.
I love it. I love it. It's beautiful here in Austin, Texas today, so why not do this here?
Do it. All right. Yeah. So I know we're gonna get into the studio, talk about CXT, but before we do that, let's to your journey and how you got here. I think a lot of folks in the audience, myself, want to know Sandy Shop. Like, where did you come from? What's your background? What's Ionic talking about?
Sure.
So continue to taste the team.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I grew up a military brat. My dad was 23 years in the Navy, so my mother's Japanese, so I was born in Japan. I spent there about 15 years or so. And that, I think, profoundly impacted my life. Not only the Japanese influence, but also those that go into service, that go into service and entry, and just the discipline of the military side of the world. So we moved to the U.S. when I was at 13, kind of Auckland area, and kind of jumped into the engineering side. Went to Intel for about 14 years, kind of did silicon engineering, and then from there to the White House for about a year. And then from there, kind of did a bunch of startups, sold those, and then kind of got into more of the project itself.
White House, Intel. Also did my homework on you. You had a company called Think3 that was a big player and one of the other classes. Where does your kind of entrepreneurial spirit come? Where that back?
And I tell you, I believe that the world needs entrepreneurs, where like these are people that go out there and take these incredible risks to go make the world 1% better. Yeah. And I tell you what, man, it's always appealed to me. It's like, you go make people better. It's not just about owning, making a dime or two. Like, it's like, how do you go put your skills away to take these risks out? Make, just 1, 2, 3 better. That's all. Everyone's gonna do that. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah. So we're here in the beautiful city of Austin, our hometown, right? I've been in New York, Austin. You've been here for how long?
11 years now, but my wife is born and raised in San Antonio. It's about 45 minutes out here. Okay. There was always a certain amount of gravity coming back to Austin.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I actually avoided it for a while. We met in Houston. So I've been in Texas for about 20 years.
Yeah.
I knew that as soon as you get to the center of gravity, there's no escape. You're hurt. Our mom's here and what have you. But we've loved it. It's been just an amazing city.
It is. I mean, I love being here. I love because I tell people also get a little bit of everything you want. Whether it's the food scene, the music scene, but the tech scenes were really here in Austin, right? How have you kind of been able to take advantage of the tech bubble in Austin?
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, Austin's been awesome for that because it's really the culture, like you said, that brings it all together. Because there's obviously the music and things like that, but find that the people and entrepreneurs here are awesome, right? Where it's not like Silicon Valley where it's like, oh no, here's my idea. I can't tell you about it. You're going to steal it. Everyone is so amazingly text and gracious. They're like, oh, let's all help each other. Let's all go work with the various assets that we have to be able to go really contribute to each other's business and stuff like that. So I think it's been an amazing area to grow not only startups, but then also everything else around that.
Yeah. So you've been in Texas for 20-some years, right? Yep. You did an undergrad at University of Illinois. You got MPA rights. Intel. When you left from Intel, I read that you had started a startup company called Intel in high school. Pull it off.
Yeah. So Intel, in my mind, is one of the most amazing companies in the world, particularly at that time, because you had these icons of management like Andy Tryba that was still in business. And when you think about silicon manufacturing, it is still the most complex thing you can do. And it's magical and how it's all the big fashion today. But they were also great about driving an entrepreneurial spirit too. So obviously you had to go deliver in your day job, but they totally encouraged us. So I would always be open with my management, saying, "Hey, listen, interested in doing this startup, that startup. You know, do you mind if I do that on the weekends? And I said, like, oh, great, go do that. And so through that, I started a couple of things and some of those, and it was great. It was a good way to kind of learn on the risk-free model because you're still getting paid while you're going and doing that.
Yeah. And then Ride also. So talk a little about the board. So I know you created this entity on Ride Home. So we unique problem. Then you see the home. What happened there?
Yeah, so that was a really amazing nonprofit. So you know, Uber and Lyft back in 2016 got into a bit of a pissing match with the city of Boston, and they do that from time to time. And you know, and the city of Boston was basically saying, "Hey, you have to fingerprint all your maps, just like we do all the other, you know, city transportation. Like you got to pay that."
Right.
And whenever that comes up, those guys work against it, and they're like, "Oh no, we don't." So they said, "Hey, listen, if you do this, we're going to do this." And so they did, right? So the city said, "Nope, you're going to do it." So they opted out. Now we were this is 2016. Yeah, so we're like, yeah, it's like every modern city has to have a rideshare. Like you can't like not have that in the city like Boston, right? I mean, growing tech hub. So we're like, all right, you know what? Let's just go write software and go turbo. So literally, we stayed up all night for 4 weeks and just coded away. And it was really hard, right? Because we had to make the driver app, the rider app, and those are understandable, but it's really all the magic back in dispatch software. Was that one, right? So we built all that, and then we launched the first MVP. I think like you know, then 6 or 8 weeks after just even decided to do it. Wow. And we knew we wanted to do it as a nonprofit. So we're like, hey, listen, and I'm a big believer in this yet. Like you have to cities in my mind in the future will all have some kind of operating system that runs their city. And rideshare, as well as all the city systems, need to be based on that platform. So we're like, hey, let's do it as a nonprofit. Let's go make sure that we're publishing open source so that any city around the world can go and build on that. So we did that. And then fortunately, we were embraced by the local community. That's one, they need rideshare. But two, I think they like the notion that like we gave all the money basically either to the driver or we had a feature where you could actually round up and donating local charities. So like Austin Pets and Mods or some of the other local Austin charities.
Yeah.
And unlike Uber, we we only charge 99 cents, right? And they got all the price because they're the one through their service. Right. So we did all that and we grew like crazy. I want to say that we did like 3 million rides in 2.5 years. So we were going.
And I gotta imagine, so since you're probably paying more to the driver than just no rideshare.
Oh, yeah. I want to say that we see them like $30 or $40 million more than they made. Yeah, right. Now, meanwhile, Humor and Lit, they were lobbying at the state level.
We want it back in.
Right, because they're like, we can't threaten to leave the city, and someone starts something in the city that works. Like, we gotta go crush this guy. So they lobbied at the state level, and they put 40 people on that, and you know the governor and others had me testify, and so long story short, they overturned the local city rules. And that's part of the dynamics of Texas. You know, big red state, little blue dots. You know, whenever they're hostile, they want to come punch the blue dots, right? So they overturn the local city rules, and then Uber ended up coming back in. And the interesting part was like, all right, well, you know, I've got a majority share in the city now. I'm a nonprofit, so obviously I got the money, right? So I'm like, okay, what do I do if I move in? I'm like, well, I had infinite amount of money. Like I'd go in there and I'd go do a bunch of rider promos and driver promos and like, let me just go take all the share. And this is where like humbly you can like, you know, when people are so much better than you are, or you know, a decade and a half, right? So they come in there and they just like actually didn't go and do all of the payment stuff. They basically said, I'm back. And they just won a ton of share at that time. And it was one of those humbling learnings, right? Where like all the drivers at that time were like, hey, listen, because we're making so much more than you, like we're gonna stay with you, things like that. But like at the end of the day, like the traveler coming in at the airport, you know, they're all using Uber and Lyft. So it's really hard to have a ride share just within video.
Yeah.
So they took a bunch of share, and then COVID happened, and I couldn't really, say that I could do it from a safety perspective. So I ended up shutting down COVID. But it was this amazing experience because, like, to build the algorithms, build the apps, and things like that gave me a ton of respect for not only what they do, but then also, when you start thinking about what's needed from a transportation space, like the ability to build that real-time algorithm. I mean, because sometimes we'd be doing 50,000 rides a day, right? Just like crushing it, right?
Yeah.
So it was a ton of fun, and I was so grateful to have had that experience. I get asked all the time, "Hey, bring it back, bring it back." But I don't know. I don't know if the city needs that.
I know the drivers want it back now.
They do.
They're definitely getting, the market they're lit with Uber Lyft is going the wrong way for them.
That's right.
But how much of that experience kind of led you to we're going to get into the student conversations of the CXT acquisition? So I can imagine that was the first time you probably got a real tape with operator side of the take. You talk about the tech side, but then there's a whole people component of the thing that if you miss that part of it, many comes out so they said learn like gotta start and end with the driving mind.
100%, right? Without a doubt, like since that experience, I gained so much appreciation for the driver experience, the rider experience, and then we also fortunately got a lot of experience building a lot of the back end elements where a lot of magic is, right? So so from even the early days of us starting Ionic Partners, we're like, hey, listen, this is definitely a unique asset that we have, a unique product that we have. How do we go and find the right spaces and go apply that?
Yeah.
And we think that the transportation, space is ripe for the next generation of innovation, but it's all going to be based on the back of that type of software. So we're like, right, let's go and make that happen. And that's obviously one, we looked at CXT, like, right, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Apply that to.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of CXT. It was the platform that day one when I went for my family business, we had another provider things. And I needed to say we got to change this thing. And CXT we got identified. So I had found a lot of success in my career and really hard for you, but the platform for CXT has really helped to change just the outcome. And so I'm excited to get into the student interview because there's some people in the space that think CXT maybe lost a little bit of luster. So I want to dig into not just kind of why you bought it, but what you see the future direction for CXT, also the product from the shoot we're trying to know. So you out in the audience, stay tuned. We'll head to the studio. We're going to answer all those questions you want to know about why did Andy, like Ionic Partners, buy CXT Software, and where's it going in the future? All right, that's First Family. You see in the studio. Peace.
In a super easy way. And if it's super complicated, like you designed it wrong. That's your fault, right? It's not their fault for not adopting it. It's your fault for not providing enough value and making it easy enough for them to go do. And so that's the design point, is that like, no, like, sure, some of the folks are going to retire, but no, like go in front of them and be like, look how much easier this is. Yeah. You sure you don't want to make your life easier? And if you truly do and you offer value, they'll adopt it. Yeah.